Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fabulous day. I am coming today with a friend, Chelsea Aldred, as a guest, and she is going to offer some fabulous tips that I myself personally need. She's going to help us save food that is either left over from something that we're cooking, or perhaps we go to Costco or we buy in bulk. Chelsea is very, very good at not throwing away extra and keeping what she has left over for future purposes. And I asked her to join because sometimes I just toss it and I don't spend the time. Why is this important to you, that you not throw away and that you save things for later?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, other than the fact that I hate throwing away food, especially that can be used. I know peppers sometimes are sold in 2 or 3s, or like the herbs are sold like in bunches, and a lot of times you're not using them, and then you feel intimidated because you're like, I don't want to buy the fresh herbs because I'm not going to use them again. Or we do some dairy-free things at our house, and so like if you use like a can of coconut milk, what am I supposed to do with the rest of it? I have just been experimenting in all the years that I've been cooking for my family, and I feel like these things are easy. They do take a little bit of prep time beforehand, but when I'm in the moment cooking, I feel like it is amazing to just open my freezer drawer and pull out each little thing that I need. It just makes it run more smoothly, for sure.
And you're not being wasteful, like I admit sometimes I can be, and you're prepared.
Yes,
being prepared. And if y'all followed me for any length of time, you know I'm about make ahead and freeze.
Yes.
This is more of a fresh, you're using something that you just bought, but you're saving the excess for later. And I love this, Chelsea, and I'm so grateful that you're going to share this, because these are fundamentals, guys. These are just basics. So, Chelsea, let's start with, what do we have?
Okay, so I have dill because I made a dressing this week with dill, and it's already washed.
Fresh dill.
Yes, and ready to go. So this came in a huge bulk, and although I did use a large amount of it, I didn't use all of it. So the easiest thing to do is you can just like snip the pieces. This is usually what I do with herbs. I mean, you can cut on them, but I just usually am snipping pieces.
You just snip.
Yes,
you leave
the
that
ends
long
of it.
part.
Some of them I do, and some of them I don't.
Well, you can
as
cut
long
those
as they're
off.
not, like too thick. And then the other thing with this is like, this is also starting to go bad because it's sitting, in the freezer. And because you're kind of doing it one-on-one, you can decide, exactly what you want to do. And so all I'm doing is, once I do this part of it and I have a bundle, all I'm going to do is just go ahead and start chopping it. And honestly, you could even do this as you're doing the actual recipe so that you don't waste any of that other time as well. Okay, so we're going to say for time purposes that this is completely chopped and we're ready to go.
And this smells just like we opened a jar of dill pickles. Smells so good.
And that's one other thing I love about herbs, is I feel like it really enhances the dish. It's something super small but simple, and it really goes a long way. I mean,
fresh herbs make it taste like you're at a restaurant.
Oh, for sure. And it makes your house smell good. So super cubes, I think I talked about this on my podcast, and Jamie has also used them.
Link to.
These are amazing, and they're just like silicone, and they go in the refrigerator. Refrigerator or freezer.
They come in different sizes. So this one is what? Just more of the ice cube size?
It's like an ice cube size, and what I love about super cubes too is it has 2 tablespoons and then 1 tablespoon, and then also the milliliter sizing if you feel that you need that. And so you'll be able to fill it up so you know ahead of time, like, oh, it's 1 tablespoon, or oh, it's 2 tablespoons.
And we'll link to everything if anyone is interested.
Yes, and just a side note, I was at an appointment the other day, and I had a sweet mama asking me about baby food, and I used this for baby food.
Oh.
And you just fill it up with your homemade baby food, and you just pop the cubes out and put it in the little containers, and by the time they eat, it's already thawed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So these are amazing. I just feel like there's so many uses of this. I go ahead and fill it up for about the 2 tablespoons, but if you wanted to do like half in a few and then whole in a few.
So you're putting the amount that you would probably use for a specific recipe, calling for dill. Okay.
And then of course, like we said, you can do like half of it full if you wanted to, and other half. And then the only other thing that you do after that is, and this is to help it freeze, is you can use olive oil. So I just fill it all the way up till about the marker that is labeled on the actual cube tray. Then you would do that for all the ones that are filled. Now the other option that you can do is water, which would totally be fine. It's the same procedure. You would fill it up with water. When you're ready to use this, you can go ahead and throw it in your pan when it's warm, and you can account for the olive oil.
Okay.
Or you can thaw it in a bowl where there's water and then just kind of strain. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is I don't leave the cubes in here. So what I do is I get a gallon size bag or a freezer size bag, a quart, and I'll label whatever the herb is on there, and then I pop these out. And so they're easily accessible.
What I should have done.
Yeah.
I was freezing, guys. I told Chelsea I was wasteful. I got on a cleaning spree and I thought I'm never going to use these super cubes again, and I threw away one of the big ones. Chelsea,
yes, I can show y'all that one. And this one's a great one too.
This is a great one for bone broth, chicken broth.
And I do spaghetti sauce. I do chili.
If I thought of popping the cubes out and freezing the cubes, but I had all of these in my freezer stacked up and I didn't know what was what. That is a great tip, y'all. Freeze it in these.
And then pop it out in a label bag.
And then you can see it, you label it. That is a huge tip.
Exactly. And you know what's kind of cool also, especially for like bone broths and things that have that clear kind of like coating on it, you can actually see the embossed quantity. So on my bone broths, I can see where it says 1 cup.
Oh my goodness,
the coolest
y'all.
thing. I don't know if they meant for that to happen or not. But.
Okay, that's so cool. When we stop this video, I'm ordering my cubes. You're 2 days late. Chelsea's a great neighbor to have. So anyway, okay, that's amazing.
Okay, so the next thing that I like to have is peppers. My husband doesn't love peppers, but I literally put it in everything. I feel like it kicks it up a notch, but it also creates more color. And there's just something about more color in your cooking. So these are about a week old, and they are definitely on their last leg. Like this one right here has, you know, mold and stuff on it. So what I do is I will cut around the bad, the soft spots, obviously wash them, and I'm gonna show you how we would just like cut them. Most of my recipes are like julienne, which are like the longer, thinner pieces.
Thin strips.
So that's how I do mine. But there are times where if it's really bad, the actual like quality of it, and I need to cut around it, you can also dice it. Just depending on how you're gonna use it and
I'm
how
more
you
of a
feel like
diced
you use
one.
it. Yes.
I do usually omelets, so mine are diced.
Yes.
What do you use julienne for?
So I usually put those in a lot of like your pasta dishes. Last night we had a fish that had the peppers in there.
Get you another knife.
No, this one's fine. This is good. Yeah.
So you did julienne strips in that.
Yeah. So we do julienne strips. I know you're supposed to cut away from you, but this is
That's okay.
No teachers here to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. So you would just cut along and make them more julienne, or like we talked about, chopped. And then we're gonna take out whatever your bad pieces are, which I think I did most of that.
See, I love this. I mean, guys, I would have so thrown this pepper away, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. This is great.
And you have it though for the future. Like even if another recipe calls for it,
and then you don't have it, you just don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
You
can't make that recipe for that week. And one thing Jamie and I talk about this too is having things when things are crazy, and you can plan for the stuff that you already have in your house. And we talked about this too. It's like, what meats do I already have in my freezer? So if you've already browned your turkey meat or your ground meat, or you have steaks. Okay, so you have steaks, and then you have this, and then you have your onions, and you could do a stir fry.
Or fajitas. Oh, that is so good. And that's another thing you're good at, and I'm not, is sometimes I'll think, I just want to make this, and then I'll go buy things. But you're saying plan around what you have. So take stock of what's in your freezer, what's in your fridge. Okay.
And honestly, it's cheaper. You know? I mean, it really is. You know what you already have, and you are planning around that. And there are times where I'm like, I want this specific meal too.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm always
I mean, and y'all, Chelsea's a young mom, and I'm an older, you know, and I think this is so helpful for any of us, but especially others with young children, because y'all are the busiest of all.
Yeah,
you've got young children, and you're cooking for them, and you're running a household. So these are fabulous tips to save time and money and feed your family well. So I love this.
You can do a super cube in the same way. You can put them like this and put them in the olive oil, just like this, or you can put them in a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
Labeled peppers. and throw them in your freezer.
I'm assuming you would use the freezer Ziploc.
Yes,
like
you do the freezer.
You can even get small. Well, you can get the quart.
Well, you could do the quart, and sometimes what I do, another hack is like I'll get like a regular sandwich Ziploc bag and then put it in a larger bag if I have like a green pepper, because to me a green pepper is different than like a sweet pepper.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
so you could still have the bag of peppers, and then there's multiple in there, and that kind of helps.
Oh yeah, you could put like several types of peppers
in like your gallon
in
bag.
one big gallon freezer. I'm loving all these storage tips. Okay, so wonderful. Okay, and I like this too. So what else do you use this super cube for?
Another thing that I use for this super cube is actually coconut milk. Like I said, we do a lot of dairy-free recipes.
This is half of a cup.
And half a cup and fourth of a cup is labeled on here. So even tonight, like tonight, my recipe is 3/4 cup. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with the rest of the coconut milk? And most people would just throw it out, especially because it's only 1/4 of a cup. Now, one hack that I do is buy this because it has a spout, and it's my favorite thing. It's from Walmart.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be heavy. Okay. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So it has a spout, and it tells you about how many cans are in there, and it's literally water and coconut milk. So it's the exact same thing, and it has the fat, or like the top part of it, the cream on the top. So you just have to shake it up. So this is probably my favorite way to buy it. But if for some reason I'm out, I do buy the can. So if I'm only using 1/4 cup of this or 1/2 cup of this, I will do the exact same thing. I'll pour the rest of this can into here, and it'll have 1/4 cup, half cup, and then I will leave it in there to freeze like we talked about, and then have a labeled Ziploc bag of coconut milk. And you could do the same thing for the tablespoon ones, because some of the recipes even have smaller. And then I also have one that has 1 cup. This one right here that Jamie showed you earlier was a 2 cup. The other one is a 1 cup.
Okay.
So there is one more that I didn't bring.
See, of everything that I've learned, and the reason I wasn't loving my super cubes is I was putting everything in here and freezing this.
Yes. Which, I mean, is an option.
And then I would pull it out, and then I would have to wait till it thawed a little bit, and I would press everything out.
Figure out what's in there.
Method.
Because it's not labeled. Yeah.
It's forming everything into ice or oil. Then you're popping it out, and you're putting it in clear, labelable packages. I love it. Love this. Okay.
So those are the 2 options. And then I've actually even done it with tomato paste, because you buy that the little one, you use a tablespoon, maybe. I mean, a lot of times you're not using the whole jar, and I will literally, even if it only has 2 of them that are filled, I will still put it in the freezer and have that for another time, because I just don't use tomato paste all the time. Now they do have the ones that have a squeegee in it, kind of like a toothpaste. Yep, just like that. And that to me is a great hack to have.
Yep.
But I also like to keep canned things in there just in case.
And we'll link to not just products, any recipes we might mention.
For sure.
My spaghetti with meat sauce, and I think my turkey chili, it uses the whole can.
Okay.
But for when you don't, and you can get any brand of tomato paste, mostly in like a squeeze. It looks like toothpaste. And then if you wanted to, because does this have an extra? I don't have my glasses. Does this have to be?
I'm sure. I feel like it does.
After opening. Okay, I haven't opened it. So then once you open this,
you gotta put it in the refrigerator.
You gotta refrigerate it, or
you're on a time crunch with this. Whereas that one you could just.
You're not on a time, so you would just maybe do this. I love it. Okay.
Okay, and then the other thing we were talking about tortillas, and this has been, I feel like, something that has been a game changer in my house. My kids love tortillas. When we do Mexican night, we usually do it like 1 night a week. Well, some people like chips, and some people like tortillas, and then another day a kid wants a quesadilla with cheese or whatever, and then I look in there and they're molded, because I left them in there for too long. So these are amazing. And we will link to these. They're basically raw.
So you don't eat them like they are. You have to cook them.
have to cook them.
Okay.
Which to me is even better when you're freezing them, because they taste just as fresh.
Do you freeze these cooked or raw?
I freeze them raw.
Okay.
Just like what they are.
Where do you get these, Chelsea?
Those are from Sprouts.
Is that because I haven't seen these?
Yes.
So Sprouts.
And they're amazing. Now this would be considered more of like a corn tortilla. I think it has flour in it, but to me it mimics more of a corn tortilla texture.
Okay.
Whereas I do buy the flour tortillas, and those are not raw.
And they do have the flour tortilla version, but they're not raw. I did not know this until recently. You are not supposed to eat raw flour. Not that we would normally eat raw flour, but if you are making something with a cake mix that has not been baked, that's raw flour. Raw flour is a big carrier, or can be, of salmonella.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Makes sense.
I mean, it really does. So these are in the refrigerated section. And what I do is whenever I buy tortillas, regardless of the brand tortilla, where you buy them, they literally come with 10. And you're like, what am I going to do with 10 tortillas? I mean, I think about like my mom and my stepdad, or you and Zane, unless y'all are having people over, what are we doing with 10 tortillas? And I remember my grandmother used to say, I wish they would sell a half a loaf of bread, which makes me laugh too.
I know.
So what I do is, like, these, y'all are gonna laugh, but these are already used. And I just like put them back in my drawer instead of
Did you cut those out of?
I just cut them out of parchment paper.
Parchment paper, okay.
And usually I'll like pull enough of it off and do it in fourths.
Because you're just doing enough. It doesn't have to.
Yes, it doesn't have to be pretty.
It's a separator.
Right. So I'll show you what it looks like in here. So basically,
those are
you just put them, so you have your tortilla. This is actually something that when we get home from the grocery store, my kids do, because it's like an easy thing. I'll be like, put this up, do this, and then somebody's on tortilla duty.
That's good. I like that.
So all you do is like, I show them, you put this in your hand, and then you put a tortilla, and then you get another one, and then you put a tortilla, and then so on and so forth, till you have the whole batch done. And then what happens is, or the point of this is, you can put this in the freezer, and when you need one, it's preserved, right? Because it's in the freezer.
Because they're stuck.
But they're not stuck together. Correct.
So if you froze them like that, they're a big frozen clump.
Yes, and then you have to eat the rest of them, and you're mad about it. And I would say the same thing, you know, like when you freeze, like we freeze bread too, which I don't put these in between bread, but slicing the bread before you put it in there. So there's lots of different ways to preserve stuff, and it's just, you almost just have to get creative.
Right.
But I feel like this has been so helpful for me in the kitchen when I'm working, because I am like a crazy lady when I'm in there. I've got cabinets open. I mean, you and I relate on that. Got cabinets open, things all over the counter, multiple dishes, multiple things, and then everybody's ready to eat. And this has just been a game changer. It makes it a whole lot more relaxing. I know what I have and what's in there, and it saves me so much time because I'm not having to do all the chopping.
I love this. And while we're on it, let me just hang on, everyone, because it won't be here long. So last night we had our small group here, and this is what is left over, and I'll link to the recipe. It's not beautiful, but let me tell you, people were raving. It's pumpkin carrot cake. This is an old blog recipe that sort of just got ignored, and I discovered it again, and I thought, I'm gonna make it and update the blog, so by the time you all are watching this, the blog post and recipe will be updated. It's like pumpkin bread and carrot cake got married and had a baby.
With the icing.
It's so good. And Chelsea actually made this icing for me. We're neighbors and we help each other out. So anyway, but everyone was raving.
Oh, good.
So this was left over last night. Baked goods are so easy to freeze. Now, I would have gotten all the air out, but this will be gone like by tomorrow. We'll be eating on this.
But it is nice to be able to freeze it. And
yeah, because it will get stale in like 2 or 3 days. It gets stale.
But if you had like company come over, or if I wanted to try it.
Oh yes, absolutely. So baked goods, throw them in now freeze. We've been saying freezer, Ziploc, and there's the store brand too. You can get whatever, Target, Publix freezer bags. They're probably all from the same factory.
Yeah, they probably are. Yeah.
But they're thicker, they're more resilient, they're more freezer burn proof. But this and these it's saving.
And I also have if anybody likes the gallon size and they would rather have a reusable one, and we'll link this one. This one's from Amazon. And this is my favorite one to put breads and like more heavy duty stuff. I think a cake would be perfect in here too.
Yes.
So these are really good. And I love the bottom, how it sits as I'm trying to fill it up.
You could put a batch of chili, spaghetti, soup.
Literally anything in there. Yeah.
This is so helpful. Thank you, Chelsea.
And for sure.
Guys, if there are any topics related to food, cooking, saving, tips, hacks, you can leave comments below. And I'm very grateful to all of you for following and watching. And as always, until next time, be blessed and stay savvy.